Anshulika, it's a very interesting journey that you've had after being an ex-McKinsey and after seeing the shores of US. You come back to the country and get involved with a very fantastic concept called Wishberry to a country which doesn't know what is crowdfunding. So fortunately, you are also managing a similar concept in the US with McKinsey, researching on crowdfunding and social initiatives. Yeah. So you came back. Wishberry is a very attractive and a very nice word. Samir will always say name matters a lot because that's how it lasts longer in the memory of people. Why Wishberry? What's behind the name?
Okay, so we have a very confusing history. Priyanka, who unfortunately could not be here, my co-founder, she started Wishberry as a very different business. It started first as a business for advertising on taxis. Then she moved on to doing wedding gift registry online. So there's a concept in the US where you can tell your friends what they should give you in marriages, and you register that with a store, and people go and buy those things. So that was originally the name of Wishberry, like whatever you wish you get kind of stuff. But I think she started as an entrepreneur much before I joined her. She started in 2009 with all these concepts, and she was trying something and pivoting, and whatever was not working or working. And
people generally cross 7 seas for the boy, crosses 7 seas for the girl.
I say that a lot, yeah.
And you crossed it for another girl.
Yes, absolutely. So Wishberry happened because of her, meaning the name. And we didn't change it because it also went with the whole spirit of crowdfunding, which is whatever you are dreaming of, that can come true. So whatever you wish can come true.
So in a paragraph, how will you explain crowdfunding? Because there is a very thin edge between crowdfunding and collective investment schemes. A collective investment scheme is an illegal criminal act.
I have been telling this and explaining this for the last 5 years. So dealing with people in India who are very, very, glued to paisa diya hai to kuch wapas milega kind of mentality. Whoever you explained crowdfunding to, they were like, acha to profit kya hai? So and this is a very, very Western concept. It is, forget about being Western, it's a philanthropic concept. Where if you like an idea, you give it 500 rupees. That's it. And through online, we can reach out to a lot of people. So for example, if I'm a filmmaker and I want to make a film in 10 lakhs, now I can keep chasing that one person to give me 10 lakhs for months. And if somebody gives me 10 lakhs in one go, obviously he will come with a lot of expectations. He will ask for profit. He will also maybe get into creative control, all sorts of things to just make sure that he gets most bang for his buck. But then what if we enabled this filmmaker to go to 1,000 people and ask for 1,000 rupees each, right? This concept works for those filmmakers who are budding filmmakers, who cannot convince because they don't have any, legacy or credibility of films that they have done in the past. So when you start doing that, the person who's giving 1,000 rupees is not thinking of anything in return because it's just 1,000 rupees, and he knows that he's giving it to support that filmmaker. So all these films that are offbeat, intelligent, go into Cannes and all sorts of film festivals abroad, but don't get a release in PVR because they do not have Salman Khan in it or Shah Rukh Khan in it and all sorts of masala. Where do they go? They are very, very good films and people don't get to see them. So for them, crowdfunding came across as a complete boon.
And what is the difference between crowdfunding and collective investment schemes?
So collective investment is simply that, I am giving you 1,000 rupees or 2,000 or whatever, but in return I'm getting something back.
In money.
It could be interest, it could be profit.
So that is illegal.
If you announce it publicly and you say that, I'm going to give you back monetary things, then it is illegal because then you're acting like a public company.
Yes.
And you're not a public company.
So crowdfunding is basically you pay money to somebody that you follow as a fan,
correct,
to a musician or an artist or a filmmaker, and you get some privileges in return against that.
Privileges in return. So like if I'm a filmmaker, I'm making a film and you give me 1,000 rupees, I will give you the link to watch the film first and you don't have to go to the theater. If you give me 5,000 rupees, I'll call you for the premiere of the film, sit with you, make you sit with the cast and crew. If you give me 10,000 rupees, I will give you name in the credits of the film, maybe a role also. People come with various innovative rewards also.
So Wishberry actively got into crowdfunding in 2012, but in technically into the crowdfunding activity
Yes,
in
2012.
But I think crowdfunding initially happened in 1976
Yes.
when a film called Manthan
Yes.
was funded by 5 lakh farmers in Gujarat. Each paid 2 rupees, collected 10
Yeah,
lakhs
yeah.
and made the film.
So,
So that's also
Benegal,
Shyam
yeah.
Benegal did that.
So basically, if you remember the first cooperative ad of Amul, they wanted to tell everybody about their milk revolution. And Shyam Benegal said, we'll need 5 lakhs for it and 10 lakhs for it. And at that time, nobody had money. So they went to the Gujarat farmers, all of them gave 2 rupees each. And if you ever come across the poster of Manthan, it doesn't say Shyam Benegal presents Manthan. It says 5 lakh farmers of Gujarat present Manthan. So that's basically what it is.
So out of the films that you have funded, there are three films which has won national awards.
Yeah.
One is Gunga Pelwan,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And these are small budget documentary type of films which have made it big.
Fascinating story. So the one thing that I've learned while doing crowdfunding is that all filmmakers in the film industry are engineers. They were engineers and then they moved on to doing things that they really wanted to do. So similar story about these 3 kids from a management institute. They found out a story of this wrestler in Haryana who is actually deaf. He's a deaf and dumb wrestler, but he's got India 3 gold medals. His name is Virinder Singh in the Olympics that happened for the deaf and dumb people. But nobody knew about him. If you even Googled him, you would not be able to find out who this person is. So these 3 kids from this management school thought that is pe to film banni chahiye. We should tell his story to the world. So yeah, they just wanted 3-4 lakh rupees to go and shoot in his, place and all. And this was their first film out of college. They weren't even expecting anything. So I remember when their campaign went live on Wishberry, 3 lakhs was their target amount. And one woman from the US saw it online and gave 1.5 lakhs. So ek aadha to aise ho gaya. And then a bunch of other people, I think about 300 people eventually funded this film. And then it won a national award in the best documentary debut film as well. So that was a very big deal.
So Wishberry, like any other enterprise for whom you raise funds, this is a concept that you all started, you and Priyanka started.
Yeah.
You also needed funds. And you have got some best names in the industry who have funded. So 45 people in the beginning itself got them a fund of 4 crores. So what as an entrepreneur was your pitch to them? It is not that 4 crores which is more interesting. It is more interesting of who gave those 4 crores.
Right.
So there is the MD of Google and then there is Mohandas Pai. So how did you reach out to such unreachable people? That's one question. And what was your pitch which gave the investments into your company?
Yeah, so fundraising for this concept was a journey in itself. So earlier, I think one thing that Priyanka is really good in is that she approaches an investor when she is in a position of bargaining. So she's like, she doesn't approach when she's fully aware that, now we have something to show and, we don't have to prove anything right now. So for the first year or maybe actually 2 years, we did not approach anybody. We thought, let's just prove this concept. I think after we had some 3-4 crores raised for about 100 projects is when we thought, okay, now let's just start going. So in the process, in the 2 years, we had started meeting a lot of people. So through them, we could reach out to these people. We had built some goodwill and stuff. So
And what was your pitch?
I think our pitch was very simple. It was that we just want to put India on the creative map of the world. We are very sick of the fact that everybody has to do engineering and doctor and all of that. And I myself, actually, I'm a closeted artist. If I was not doing McKinsey, I would have been a dancer and a singer. I was training to do that in school. But I remember my parents never encouraging me for this role because they thought that there's no money in it.
So if you would have had that kind of money, would you have yourself invested in a Wishberry type of a concept?
Absolutely. I think it's a slam dunk. I mean, it's very simple. If I like some artist and he's asking me for 500 rupees, why will I not give? I won't even think twice.
Investments, 3 crores, 4 crores,
Yeah.
the type of investments that came in.
Correct. So I will absolutely.
You would have done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now tell me, there is a first mover advantage kind of a concept that we all know.
Yeah.
So there are two things to the first mover advantage. You can either be a super hit or you can be a flop. Why nobody is doing it? Because nobody finds it interesting. Why somebody is doing it? Because he got the eureka moment and he realized this is an idea that can really work. Yes. What was your confidence when you began crowdfunding? Because when you began this concept, it is more of educating the people what crowdfunding is, than getting it crowdfunded. Yeah. So how did you do that?
So I think we were very focused. Right after we started, we were the first crowdfunding platforms to start in India. And I think within months, just how herd mentality is in the country, there are 2-3 other platforms also started. But they were not focusing on any sector. They were just crowdfunding platforms where if somebody wants to raise money for their cancer treatment can also raise funds. If they want to have films to raise funds, they can go there. So they were not focusing on any sector. They were sector agnostic. That is one way of doing this business, absolutely. So we till date enjoy the first mover advantage because nobody in the creative industry knows any other platform other than Wishberry. Because we say that we are only for you guys, we don't have anybody else. And also when you say that, you also mean that I don't want to put a film project raising money next to an acid victim who's raising money. That will become so funny, right? That people will think who to fund. So that's why I think our focus helped us gain that popularity, made people gain confidence in us that we are not just saying what we are saying, we also want to do so many more things.
A lot of people know Kickstarter as a very large organization for crowdfunding operating out of the US. Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Yes. These are some large boys, large players operating out of the US. How are you different than them?
Okay. So Indiegogo and Wishberry are completely different because Indiegogo is sector agnostic. Also, there are certain rules that different platforms follow. So, for example, on Indiegogo, if you want to raise 10 lakhs, but if you end up raising only, say, 2 lakhs, you can take the money. But on Kickstarter, if your project goal is 10 lakhs, you cannot get anything less than that. So, you will get 60 days to raise that money. If you're not able to raise it, the money simply goes back to people. That is the concept even on Wishberry. So, Wishberry and Kickstarter are directly comparable because Kickstarter is only for creative industry and follows this rule. So the way we are different from hence Kickstarter is, so in India, crowdfunding is all about, or just any social media communication is all about marketing yourself, pitching to the people and telling them this is my idea, fund in this. So when we started out, we realized that Indians are very shy. They don't want to talk about what they are doing in a manner that they are, in confidence and all of that. So we thought, okay, I think we will have to handhold everything. We'll have to make their marketing plan. We will have to do the social media communication, which is not something that happens on Kickstarter.
So you give a complete wholesome support services.
Correct.
Even if the guy doesn't have the capabilities to project himself, you draft the plans for him.
Correct.
Now, we all know in business, in competition, the big fish eats up the small fish. In simple language, we call it mergers. And in crude way, it is takeovers. So has Kickstarter noticed you and are they in the plans to approach you? Or have you approached to them because they are large boys?
Right. So, so first let me say that I'm a big fan of Kickstarter. Tomorrow if Kickstarter comes and says we want to acquire you, I'll be like, when? And where do I sign?
I hope they watch this program. Somewhere.
So last month, I was in the US and I went to meet the Kickstarter people.
Oh, you've already done that?
Yes, I've already done that. I've been their fan since 2009. I mean, honestly, I started this because I saw Kickstarter during that McKinsey project and I thought this has to happen in the country. So I love that organization for what it is. It has always took a stand on creative industry, want to move it. The founders, all the 3 of them are creative artists. One of them is a musician, one of them is an artist and all of that. So they have a very different DNA. That is the only company I know in the world which turned a profit in 24 months. Uber has not, Amazon, I mean not Amazon, but the others, that Airbnb, and they took forever to, break even and stuff. So these guys have been very focused, cost conscious. So I like that company as for its ideals. So we really wanted to go meet them. I wrote to the CEO and he just responded in 24 hours saying that, yes, absolutely come, we know what you're doing. And it was a fantastic meeting. He sat down, he asked everything from how do Priyanka and I divide our responsibilities to, what is your goal, what is your vision? And we told them everything. So They did say that if we ever come to India, we will definitely talk to you. But
So you have already broken the ice with them.
absolutely, yeah.